is a good podcast. Welcome to Mouse Out of Wedlock. This is a good podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to Mouse Out of Wedlock, the greatest podcast to feature comedians in Austin. Can't think of another one.
They don't exist.
They don't exist.
Yeah.
This is the only one that exists. I am your co-host, Xander.
Your co-host.
Yeah, I'm the co-host.
How do you feel about that? Because we've had mixed reactions.
Oh, is that a real?
Me not liking it.
I don't even know what.
It's junior co-host, and I shortened it to co-host.
Okay, yeah, didn't get that at all.
That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
Don't know what you're talking about. I just thought you stumbled and I made fun of you.
You did.
Yep.
I've been asked as part of my co-host duties to help intro the show. I have done part of it. I am Xander. I've already said that. We have our technical engineer, of course, Fisher
Hello.
Joyce.
I'm here.
And then we have our resident goofball, Jakeb,
Eating pizza on the podcast.
eating a hunk of pizza.
I'm eating a hunk of pizza next to the podcast.
Next to the podcast.
Eating a very, if I might say, like pungent, aromatically engineered piece of pizza.
Very
it
much so.
smells. I'm smelling it.
Yeah,
a lot.
it's designed to get other people to want some pizza.
It is not working. It is from a gas station.
And it is 10 a.m.
Breakfast of champions.
Jacob's gonna be complaining about stomach issues the rest of the week.
Here's what I love about this pizza is that the box that it comes in, it's a little, it's one of those like single serve pizza boxes.
Yeah.
It's got a little plastic window in front of it to so you can be window shopping at the gas station going,
That's correct.
Ooh, that looks nice.
This one's from 4 hours ago.
You got to get them at 10 a.m. That's when they're fresh. And our resident pizza critic that we've brought onto the show.
With the silky smooth tones of Kyle Romero.
Hello.
Everyone applause.
Stop.
I'm so afraid to push a button on the soundboard.
Push a button.
I don't know
Any
what
button.
doing.
Any button.
Any button.
Hello, Mark.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Oh, you guys got drops.
Oh, we got
we got
drops.
some. We need to keep
Wowie
updating.
zowie.
We
That's
need
fun.
a drop draft soon.
Yeah, we need to keep doing that.
a drop draft soon.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Very happy to be here.
Yeah. I know you were breaking your union contract by being here on the podcast.
Yeah,
so-
luckily no one listens to
That helps.
It's really helped us get away with a lot of terrible things.
It's uncancelable, unfireable by my union.
Unfindable.
Unfindable. Yeah.
It's on a podcast platform somewhere.
Yeah.
But
If you Google Mouse Out of Wedlock, you have to scroll through like pages of like mouse marriage certificates before you finally get to us.
yeah, a lot of state laws come up in the search results before us.
When you hear Mouse Out of Wedlock, what do you think, Kyle?
So I know the intention behind the name now, but when I first heard the name of the podcast, I thought it was just a non sequitur. I didn't get
That's fair.
that's
fair.
you know.
Yeah.
But now I understand it to mean rat bastard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I thought you were going to do a bit where you pretended to know.
No. I really do know. And I remember hearing it and being very surprised. But isn't a mouse and a rat a different?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, according to Chuck E. Cheese, no.
Oh.
But, they've changed the rat over to a mouse.
Well, they
so
are the arbiter of.
They're in charge of that shit.
The taxonomy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the highest height of my entire life, certainly of my comedy career, was at the Cold Tonys last year when they announced the nominees for Best Podcast, and Mouse Out of Wedlock was read, and it was the most confused half applause I've ever heard. I'm just like, what?
Yeah. I 100%. I nominated us, and they're like, okay, sure.
Wait, that came from you?
Yeah, I nominated
duh.
So
us.
that wasn't a real nomination?
It was real. He's part of the
Okay.
community.
No, it's not real.
You can't nominate your own podcast.
I fucking did.
He's barely on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm barely on it now. I'm allowed to nominate it.
All right.
Yeah, we were going up against straight people movies, and
We never had a
great
chance.
podcast.
The Garfield one. I don't know. I forget what that
Hungry
one's called.
Cat Daily.
Hungry
Yeah, that
Cat
one was
Daily.
good.
So good.
Yeah.
And you have a podcast with the co-host of that one.
I do, yeah. Nick Ramirez, who was the co-host of Hungry Cat Daily. That show ended because Lance had a child.
Yes.
God love him.
And Garfield should be nowhere near children.
That's correct.
Yeah, they said we have to separate ourselves from this madman. And Nick and I, it was Nick's idea, but we started a podcast about the other orange cat, Heathcliff.
That's awesome.
It's called the Meat Cast. Check it out.
It's very good.
It'll be linked below.
The worst thing Heathcliff could do to a child is put a hat on them that indicates what they're doing or thinking at any time, or a helmet.
It's a helmet. It's always a helmet. Yeah, Heathcliff is big on helmets. Helmets are a common. We just finished, I believe, Helmet Week on Heathcliff. So the past week of comics have been helmet focused. For example, Heathcliff coming out of a yoga studio with a bulldog, and they're both like bruised up. I forget what the caption is, but they're wearing helmets that say on it, like a mantra.
Oh.
You know,
I like that.
that's your typical kind of Heathcliff.
Heathcliff
joke.
is kind of confusing to me, to be honest.
There's no. It's very. Yeah, I mean, that's the right reaction to have to it.
Okay.
But
I like it, but I just don't really understand what's happening.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a daily comic strip. So Peter Gallagher like throws a bunch of stuff
He's just
in
cranking 'em
there.
out,
He's
yeah.
cranking them out, and he's cranking it out.
Whoa.
He's doing it too. We had him
Whoa.
on the show, and he was like, "I jerk off.
I jerk off to this cat every day.
single time I finish one. I look at it and I to completion."
Those
He's
female
wearing a
cats.
helmet that says nut while he's doing it.
Yeah.
gosh.
Anyway, it's I love Heathcliff.
Hell yeah.
And the joy of the podcast has been doing it and then seeing more and more of my friends liking Heathcliff posts on Instagram and helping Peter grow his audience.
There you go. You're spreading the mind
and
virus.
seeing
Yeah.
none of the benefits of that.
One person at a time. I because when I guest on your podcast, which thank you very much for having me. I remember that I specifically only ever got into Heathcliff because of your interactions with Heathcliff on Twitter.
Yeah, I was I started paying attention to Heathcliff. Yeah, there's a Facebook group. You guys remember Facebook?
You mean Meta?
Yeah, yeah.
What'd you mean?
I was on the Meta family of apps,
Right.
and engaging with some Heathcliff content. And no, there's a group on Facebook called the Nighttime Garbage Ape, featuring Heathcliff and the Catalytic Converters, which is a series of Heathcliff inside jokes. And a friend added me to that, and I knew nothing about Heathcliff, which is like the most like insidery thing you could, it's completely inscrutable to an outside person.
Yeah. It's like QAnon for comic fans.
Yeah. Yeah. They post that. They have a lot of like remixes and a lot of like. There's like one particular. Do you guys know the comic strip Mary Worth? It's like
I
one
don't
of these
think
like
so.
it's old people read it.
Okay.
They're not like cartoon. It's like real people.
It's like Family Values?
No.
Okay.
It's like
Photos.
No. It's like they're not like cartoon cats and stuff. They're humanoids.
Okay.
So
Is it like rotoscoped, but not?
No, I just mean that they're drawn not like animals.
Okay.
So it's like a video.
It's like Beetle Bailey.
Okay, guys, it's in a newspaper.
Right. Beetle Bailey's a
I think
newspaper.
you're being deliberately obtuse
Oh,
here.
like those Harry Potter newspapers.
Doonesbury. Doonesbury?
Not dissimilar to Doonesbury.
Okay, I know.
Okay.
I now have a frame of reference. Doonesbury.
Anyway, whatever. It's no real story there. It's just like those are like really weirdly horny, and they'll post one and be like, "Look how horny Mary Worth's being today."
That's fun.
Isn't this crazy?
That's a fun group.
Like this is in the newspaper.
Oh, gosh.
We can't have LGBT books in the libraries.
That's
Mm.
But Mary Worth needs to be horny on the newspaper.
That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah,
The old
I
people
thought
gotta
you
feel
were.
something.
I thought you were changing the subject and
No.
going off on a rant.
Yeah, he does that a lot. We have to cut it out of the podcast usually, where he goes on his homophobic rant for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets tired
Yeah.
eventually.
That's why I've been demoted to
Yeah.
co-host.
That's correct. Well, I guess speaking of other things that are happening in the news, we've kind of been covering the writer strike, but SAG is striking now.
Yes,
for the first time
are.
since the 60s, I think, since they've been writers and actors strike at the same time. So
yeah,
pretty cool.
double strike, pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
really exciting. It's really, really exciting. I think, the writers were like, my understanding, just reading people on Twitter and stuff, is just like they were starting to get kind of a little bit demoralized. Like, oh, this is tough. Like, I don't know how much longer we'll be able to go on.
I think they'd gone for it was 85 days or something.
Yeah, it's been a few months.
It's already been that long?
It's been a long
it's been
time.
a long
Wow.
time.
Yeah.
And
Where does the time
then
go?
like this past week happened where you had the Deadline article that dropped where
Oh, yeah.
the anonymous source said like the strategy is to get them to lose their houses and apartments, and then get them back to the table. And then you had the actors. The addition of like the Producers Guild bringing in like a federal mediator at the last minute to be like, no, actually we really want to do it. Here's a third party. And that sort of insulted the actors union because they were like, what the fuck,
The
like,
PGA sucks so
like
bad.
the last minute thing.
Yeah.
And then, they also granted them an extension. Like it was supposed to expire at the end of June, their agreement, and then they gave them like a 2-week extension, and they sort of realized after the fact that was just so that they still had the actors available to like promote these movies that are coming out
Barbie and
like
Oppenheimer.
Barbie, Oppenheimer, Mission Impossible.
They're trying to shoot people out too, I've heard. They're trying to that's part of why the extension happened, is they're trying to shoot out all the SAG people before they went on strike.
Yeah, give productions enough time
Yeah.
to shoot whatever coverage they needed before the actors are no longer available. But the Oppenheimer actors walked out of their premiere.
I
which
saw
is
that.
sick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just straight up left. Well, maybe that means the movie's bad. I don't know. It was unrelated. Maybe if it was good, they would have been like, "All right, we'll head out after." The strike starts after.
we support the strike, but this is pretty. We worked on this really hard.
Yeah.
We paid our writers for this one, so it's fine.
But yeah, it's really exciting. I'm really glad that because the Directors Guild also was up, like renewing their
And they already
contract.
signed
Yeah, they signed an agreement before the deadline, and everybody was kind of like, well, that sucks.
that sucks.
Everybody was really hoping for all the three major unions like striking at the same time.
Yeah.
And so there was kind of some feeling that like, oh, maybe maybe they will sign an agreement and then it'll just be the writers. Because that's been the playbook in the past, is they like do a quick deal with the Directors Guild because those guys will fold like cheap laundry.
Yep.
And then they'll like do an agreement with the actors, and then it'll be like, oh, these rabble-rousing writers.
These rich Hollywood elite writers who are injecting woke moralism into every piece of media these days.
Yeah, exactly.
They've taken too much power.
Why do they make expensive laundry so hard to fold?
Yeah. Because you're not supposed to wear it more than once.
That's right.
That makes so much more sense.
Cheap laundry,
Got it.
you wear more than once, and it falls apart
Absolutely.
over time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the squeaking.
It's all
It's
good.
a-
This microphone
mouse.
stand is
It's a mouse.
That's like
Do you think,
sinking.
oh, is it sinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, push that back.
Yeah,
And
then
that should
you
help.
could just give it another turn on that tightness there too. It's pretty.
I used to have the same problem with my iPhone constantly sinking out of nowhere.
What?
SY in.
Oh,
It would sink.
that's really good.
I'm on it today. 10 a.m.'s a good time for me.
I got the problem with my damn kitchen sinking all the time. Nothing but sinks in there. I got no oven.
Whoa!
I-
boy!
I have this with this social media platform that I purchased, and I walked in with a
Oh, you let that sink in.
sink. And,
God,
all right, this is good content.
this is a good podcast.
Good content.
Oh, we got a comment for the first time in a while on the YouTube channel, Jake.
What was it?
Guess what it said?
State your opinion.
Where is State Your Opinion?
No, it said your intro sucks. Change it.
I'm so sorry.
Well,
Jay.
look, engagement of any kind
That's-
is
yeah.
important, good
Yeah.
or bad.
That's
You just
great.
want people talking about.
That's
you,
right. That's
you
what
know?
we need.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was on the Titan sub episode. I guess they like the rest of it, but they did say your intro sucks. Change it.
That really hurt my feelings.
We'll make a new
You
one.
were so gleeful to tell him that. Like, you were just glowing, ready to say, like, guess what? Guess what they said?
Guess what they said? Well, we hadn't had a comment in a while. I was excited about the engagement, and I wanted to let Jake know.
I think it's impressive, though, that all comments that we do get are based on your content.
That's really true.
How much it sucks.
Interesting.
Or is good.
It's
good too.
Well, Jake used to do this segment on the show called "State Your Opinion." I want to get I want you to explain the segment, and I want to get your impression of it. If you think it's a good podcast segment, because we did it for 25 episodes,
A little more. Well, I think we did more than half.
Okay, fantastic.
somewhere close to that.
So
Pitch it to me.
there are 50 states in this great union. Every week we would spin a wheel that would land on a different state.
Okay.
And then we would talk about it in some way. Sometimes a wacky character from that state would show up or adjacently related to the state. Sometimes I would just present facts about the state.
That was like,
and then we would all state our
90% of the
opinion
time.
of it. One time I presented fake facts and they had to guess which one was real, and they were all 3 fake. Sometimes we kind of just meander and talk around it.
well,
and
no,
then
no,
they
no,
yell
no.
at me.
We is not correct because it is your segment.
Yes, you produce it. You're supposed to come in every week with state.
We haven't done this
information.
in months. You guys
Because you
aren't allowed to
gave
be
up.
mad at me.
You gave up.
You can't be mad at me for how bad it was now that I've given it up.
So
all right?
here's the thing.
It's over now.
It's honestly a pretty good idea for a segment.
I am vindicated.
The idea of the segment is good, but it only works if you are doing the research. Like, you need so much information.
Never happened.
I'm very proud of the episode I did. I did one State Your Opinion episode.
I bet it was great.
It was.
We're Bill Clinton's wax figurine.
I was Bill Clinton's wax figurine. I came in with facts and knowledge, ready to spout about being Bill Clinton's wax figurine held in the Arkansas Museum.
Do you have an impression? Did you?
I don't remember it, and it was bad.
I'm pretty sure you started
doing
as
it
someone
right now.
else, and then we endowed you as Bill
Oh
Clinton.
yeah, I think that's what happened.
You guys can't see this, but as he was saying that, he was doing the Bill Clinton thumb thing, like, without even thinking about it.
All the presidents got a thing with their hands, huh?
Yeah, huh?
They
Especially Trump.
It's
What's
part of
the deal
Yeah.
with president's hands?
because Obama's got like he's got the.
He also
this is
does
a visual
that.
media.
Yeah,
he's got the open hand karate chop.
He's got the kind of like, he kind of cups his hand a little
Yeah.
bit, and then he'll do like he's.
Oh yeah, I
Like
love when
steps
you
through it.
Yeah. Let me be
yeah.
clear. You know.
Let me be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Fellow
we
Americans.
got the Bill Clinton thumb thing.
Yeah.
Got the Nixon double peace
Oh,
sign.
I guess I guess W did that. The hand thing.
Oh, he did do that
Yeah.
too.
It's
And
gotta be-
George Washington famous for his finger guns all over the place.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah.
It was weird. Abraham Lincoln was always like a gun to his forehead. He was just
Yeah.
like,
Teddy Roosevelt was doing the shocker all the time, which is weird. He would do that and stick his tongue out, and everybody would be like, "Man, come on."
What's Biden do with his hands? Holding ice cream?
Oh, he does the James Austin Johnson called this out, and he does the, like, it looks like his hands are like slowly rising,
Yeah.
and he'll start him down here like he's pleading with people, and then he'll kind of raise them up like, folks, look, let's get serious. 97% of the third, we got to do it. That's hard data.
Yeah.
You know, and he like raises his voice, and he's got, that's a fact.
It's almost like Orphan looking for soup.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is. It's
yeah.
very like, Papa, please.
Please give
But
me.
he's doing it as he's like he's like 700 different people. They come, average Americans every day. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's got that kind of like slurring all of his words together, and it's a
Yeah.
mix of like platitudes and data that some intern gave him like
Datitudes.
5 seconds.
God
Yeah,
damn
there you
it.
go.
Yeah. Fuck.
All right,
We're back, baby.
Yikes.
check please.
All right. Well, there's anything else we want to talk about with the actors' strike? What is your perspective? Because you're an actor. Like, what is your perspective on the whole thing?
Yeah,
Like,
and I just want to be clear. I'm not in the union. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
'Cause you're in
I'm-
Texas, 'cause
I'm
it
in
wouldn't-
Texas.
but when makes sense too.
You know, I mean, there's plenty of SAG actors in Texas, but it's a right to work state,
Yep.
and there's plenty of productions that come here to cast non-union actors. Which I'm kind of, as a Texas like Austin-based actor, I'm kind of curious about how, if this strike is prolonged, like, are we going to see productions come try to
That's interesting.
start up stuff here and give opportunities to non-union actors, because the thing about
Sure.
it's such a hard thing to make a career in. Like, your likelihood of finding people who are like willing to scab is like maybe pretty high.
Yeah, there's a lot of people desperate.
Yeah, there's a lot of desperate people. But I do think that for the most part right now, I'm seeing like union and non-union actors like express a ton of solidarity. Like I don't get the impression for the moment that that's...
Yeah.
And, you know, it is also a little bit easier because this doesn't affect commercial work.
Yeah.
So any actor can still do commercials, and I think some voiceover, you know, there's video games, like there's just like stuff that isn't covered under this. It's really only scabbing if you're like working for a struck company. So one of the like Disney, Apple, Amazon, whatever, you know?
Yeah. Are shows like Walker, are those SAG productions? Do you know?
Yeah, cause that's a CW show. Okay. I guess it depends on, or maybe it's not CW. I don't know, whatever. I guess it depends on like who, cause there's the companies that like actually produce it, and then there's companies that actually like distribute it. So it's really complicated, like the agreements behind it. But yeah, they definitely employ SAG talent on that show. You know, all of the above the line people and probably a lot of the, you know, day players and stuff are all SAG too.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's, you know, like I'm already getting like multiple emails from like my agency being like, here are the rules, you know, like they're trying to walk people through it because they have a good mix of like repped and non-repped or union, non-union actors in their stable. And so they kind of have to be clear to everybody, like, here's how it works.
Plus, if you scab, like, you're not allowed to be in the guild, correct?
Yeah.
So they probably don't want people walking into that.
Yeah. If you're a non-union actor and you do any work for any struck company, you are forever barred from, like,
which makes sense.
Representation.
Yeah.
Which I think, like, I've been acting since like college, you know, I mean, high school really, but like the whole time every step of the way, at least for me, has been like, the goal is to get into the union. Like everybody wants to like get to the point in their career, cause that's how you make like, you know,
residuals,
a career out of
like
it.
That,
residuals and healthcare.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it becomes like kind of a real job. Or as close as it can be, you know.
With I think is it 20? You have to make $26,000 a year as a SAG actor to qualify for healthcare.
Yeah, there's a minimum amount of like money you make in a year, and there's also like there's a point system for like the types of roles you do, and you know, how many you do in a year or something. So it's you know, again, really complex, but it's you know, it's to the point where like even getting that union representation is not good enough to make a career for yourself. And so I'm really hopeful. You know, I said this the other day that like even as a non-union actor, even if I never join the union, there's still so many like rights and privileges that I get on the job that are only there because of the work of the union. Like that all just trickles down to everyone else, you know.
Totally.
So I'm absolutely excited to see, you know, what they can squeeze out of these fucking jabronis.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm curious to see how farther it'll spread. I wonder if there's anything else that'll be the next domino to fall. I mean, like, I work in web video. Dropout just went on hiatus until after the strike. I think most of their talent is SAG. I'm curious to see if that'll continue and if more things will be shut down.
Hopefully.
It's just interesting.
Yeah, that would be great. I know like another part of the industry that's due for this kind of disruption is VFX artists.
Absolutely.
Like
that would be very interesting. Do they have a union for VFX artists?
I am not 100% sure.
Surely
if not,
something.
they better be fucking talking about it.
They should. Video games could honestly happen too.
Yeah, there's a lot of like entertainment industry, you know, professionals that hopefully are unionized, and hopefully their union representation is, you know, ready to fight. I mean, you know, and it only serves everyone else. I mean, the Teamsters are
they're legends.
You know, a big part of this, and they're like, I think the UPS drivers are like underneath the Teamsters union, and so there's actually like a lot of, you know, solidarity between the writers and the actors and the Teamsters, because the Teamsters, you know, will not cross a picket line no matter what their current agreement is. So there's been a lot of like actors and writers, well, writers mostly, but now actors picketing at studios, and Teamster trucks just being like, we're not going in. We're not driving on a lot. Like, it's just not happening.
I think they've shut down like a lot of Marvel production.
Yeah, they
currently.
have.
That'll be good for Marvel in the long run.
Yeah. They could stand to take a little
they
break.
take a little break. I think distance makes the heart fonder, or whatever the saying.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like a canary in the coal mine situation, which is like because you'll see on comments for people who are ignorant to the situation, like we were joking about the Hollywood elite.
Oh yeah,
people are actually saying that. It's like, no, they're being very prominent about the fact that these jobs are these things are going to happen to your job too.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
that's a good point.
I'm in a management position in my current company, and it's all about, hey, how do we reduce our workforce and get AI in there? Yeah. It's just that over and over and over again. Yeah. And it's like that is happening in every single fucking area.
It's really scary. And like I am not really by nature like an alarmist about things. Sure. But like with writing and acting in particular, but it applies to every industry.
100%.
But this is just the thing that I like understand more than working at a tech company or whatever. But like the Writers Guild was really like, their negotiations were really where things like it became clear that, oh no, this is actually really scary, because when they were negotiating, the writers put together all these proposals of like, we want to increase the residuals by this much, we want more insight into the streaming viewership numbers and things like that, so we know like how many people are actually watching the shows. We can negotiate from that base. But they threw in this thing about AI where they were like, yeah, and we also, don't want to, we don't want to be replaced by AI. We want to always have like human writers' rooms put together or whatever. And they threw that in as like a way to get like an easy win, or not even that, just to say like, well, here's this thing we obviously all agree on, and so it'll be easy to come to common ground on this, so that'll help us negotiate the other thing.
Studios went, no,
that was the thing that the studios were like, absolutely no. They just like lined through that on the agreement, like, we're not touching that. We won't agree to that. And that was the moment that the Writers Guild was like, oh fuck, well, I guess it is like a very real concern that we can't budge on, because otherwise they would have just said, yeah, sure, And the same thing is happening with acting, where they want to pay an actor for a day rate, like $200 or something, come into a studio, scan their entire body, and own it in perpetuity.
Yeah, that's fucking insane.
It's absolutely
that
insane.
Is wild.
Have any of y'all seen The Congress?
I have not, but I've heard a lot about.
I think you've talked about it on the show before.
Yeah, I've talked about it before on the show, and it's fascinating.
Pre-strike.
Yeah, super pre-strike, and
years ago.
It came out like almost 10 years ago. This it's about Robin Wright is playing herself, and she's offered $200 million, which is pretty high. That ends up being optimistic for this world. Is offered $200 million to scan her likeness, and she doesn't ever have to act ever again, because a CGI AI model will do all the acting for her. And then it goes off into another part of this dystopian world that's super fascinating. But it's just fascinating that like 10 years ago, the Walls with Bashir guy was like, yeah, this is going to happen. Like, this technology is just around the corner.
This is also an arc on BoJack.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's been like getting sprinkled in as people pay attention, and then there's the Jonah's Awful episode of Black Mirror this latest season, which is like an AI generated Netflix show about you essentially. Like,
I've never watched any Black Mirror.
It depends on the episode, but this one, like, I really like this one just because it's like, yeah, that I can 100% see Netflix getting all the information about you, creating a show about you, and putting it on Netflix.
Oh yeah, the fucking Russo guy, the Russo brothers, the guys that made the Avengers Avengers movies or whatever. He was giving some fucking interview where he was like, yeah, well, the future of entertainment is you can come home and you can tell Netflix, like, I want to be in my favorite show. That's so like crazy. You just like have your profile, and you log in and you're James Bond, and it just puts you in the James Bond movie. And I was like, you fucking dork. That's who wants that? That's a totally different thing. And that is also just like that's to me even more upsetting than the idea of like a Ready Player One future. Like, it's like even worse. You're just sitting on your couch looking at yourself fuck pussy galore.
Yeah.
I actually want that a lot. That sounds odd. At least once I'd love to see myself just like cast in, I don't know, Tropic Thunder or something.
Yeah, I mean, it seems, well, you want to be in the Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You read that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, and I think part of this is a little like, people being like blue sky, like, oh, this is the future it's going to be.
Absolutely.
Optimistic or otherwise. It's like, it's probably not going to take this shape exactly that you guys are thinking about right now.
Yeah.
But it is something to be worried about a little bit,
I guess I would say, like, I'm way less threatened by the technology itself than the people that have the money to make the decisions about how it's used.
Yes,
It's like the technology it's not very good.
No. Oh, yeah. I mean, did you guys see fucking Indiana Jones?
I didn't see it, but I saw the CGI.
It looks like shit. And I feel crazy because everybody is like, wow, that was really convincing.
No, it's never looked good.
Harrison Ford. It looks like dog shit. It looks like his face is floating around on his head.
Along with an still the old man voice.
Fucking 80-year-old Harrison Ford.
How old is he supposed to be in the movie?
It's like he's supposed to be like 40, in his 40s.
Yeah.
So wait, is this pre the fourth movie? It like takes place between 3 and 4.
There's the prequel section.
Like 20 minutes of the movie are set in like
Nazi Germany.
The end of Nazi Germany.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, so he's like, he's supposed to be, I guess, in his late 30s, 40s, something like that. And he's, like, there's some moments where it's dark, and it's not like any of the shots that are like close-ups on him, you're like, this looks like dog shit. But some of the ones where it's an action scene, he's moving around, you can definitely, like, you buy it.
Yeah.
But the second he opens his mouth, and it's the same thing that happened with The Irishman, where, like, Robert De Niro
he's
barely
killing people, he can barely lift his arms above his shoulders.
And, some of these things you're willing to, you just suspend your disbelief. I mean, suspension of disbelief has been part of, this art form forever, but like, it is going to get to a point where it is, once they can perfect the voice, change, like if they get Harrison Ford, I'm sure maybe they tried to like build an AI model of his voice so they could make him sound like young Harrison Ford. Yeah. Once they get that perfected, it is like, the game's over.
But
like,
I guess, like, are we that dumb though? Because like people didn't even like this new Indiana Jones movie, and they didn't go to see it. So like they lost so much money on that movie.
Here's
are they going to realize
so much of the budget that they spent making that movie is like paying Harrison Ford, he's earned it. He's fucking earned the right to make that much money off that movie.
He also he is the reason that movie is getting made. It's like he loves Indiana Jones, and I think let him have it. Like if it takes all of this CG and you have to get an AI in there for his voice, he's Harrison goddamn Ford. He wants to be in another Indiana Jones movie. He's got what, like 6 years left on at most on Earth.
No, he's gonna live forever.
He should get another Indiana Jones movie before he dies.
I honestly. That was the one thing I was disappointed with the end of this one. Do you all care if we spoil it?
I don't give a single
Do you
fuck.
care at all? So at one point,
knowledge is the
at
true
one
treasure.
point, and this is actually I liked it. I liked it. I thought it was fine. So they fly a plane through a portal in the sky, and they end up in.
Pardon, there's a portal?
Yeah,
in the sky?
It's sick. It's a time portal.
It's a time portal.
And they end up in like a Roman, like ancient Roman times.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I would have fucking, if that whole movie was Indiana Jones stuck in the past, I thought it would have been fucking tight.
That was the one element of it. I was like, I'm glad that they swung for it, because people are like, that's silly. It's like, the fuck, they open a box of ghosts in the first one.
It's always
a Christian box of ghosts.
Been crazy.
That's a real box though.
The
Bible.
third one, he walks into a cave and there's just a man that's been living there for centuries from Bible times or whatever.
That's true.
It's all silly, and it just like, I don't know. I just love the idea of like, because it shows like the ground shots of this B-52 plane flying through the sky, shooting guns.
Yeah,
at the fucking
Nazis like destroying.
Yeah, Nazis shooting at these fucking triremes full of Roman soldiers.
And they're like, it's a dragon.
That's crazy.
That's pretty awesome.
If the whole movie was that, it would have been so sick.
So does it end with him being stuck in Roman times?
No, that's what I was
the
hoping
thing
for.
is that they really come right up to the line. The plane crashes. He's there. He's been shot. Like, and he starts like tearing. And Harrison Ford is great in this moment.
Yes.
He's really good in this movie. But he starts like kind of tearing up, and he's like, I'm here. All my life I've spent like studying artifacts and stuff, and now I'm actually here, and I can look and touch it and feel it. Just leave me here. I'm done. Like, I'm a fossil, in the real world. Like, it's moving on. We're going to the fucking moon. Nobody has any need for me to do archaeology anymore. Leave me here. And then it really pushes you through, like, oh, they're gonna do that.
It would have been so sick.
It keeps going, and then at the last second, they swerve out of the way and they get him back.
Yeah.
And it's like
it is by far the worst choice I thought for the film.
Yeah,
if it ended with I forget her name.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Phoebe Waller-Bridges, like opening up, like last scene is her opening up a casket and it's Indiana Jones's hat. It's hammy, it's cheesy, but God, it would have been. I would have loved it.
What a great send off for the character. But they are gonna make a 6th one,
probably.
Yeah, he's gonna be 100 years old.
This was
also Mutt died in Vietnam.
Oh yeah, I did know that. That was really funny.
Mutt died returning to his home planet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can literally just skip the 4th one completely.
Yeah, they killed Shia LaBeouf died in Vietnam.
Here's what's funny about that is the timeline doesn't really work out. Like, he would have been like a 35-year-old man, like enrolling in Vietnam to piss off his dad.
Yeah, specifically trying to piss off India. I don't care about you anymore, Dad, who I've known for 2 months. I'm going to Vietnam.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fudge on the data, but I do like that. And Harrison Ford, again, fucking unbelievable in that moment as he's giving the monologue about, like, my son died, it ruined my marriage, like, he's really fucking good, man. And it just is so frustrating because you're like, this guy should be making way better movies than this. Like,
I want Air Force 2.
Cool.
I watched Blade Runner for the first time, like 2
Oh,
weeks ago, last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it mean you're gonna do 2049 soon?
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. Watch it here.
What'd you think?
Good. It was so good.
It's
it was
great.
awesome.
Which version did you watch?
The final cut.
Is that the one that does not have narration, right?
It didn't have a narration.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah,
As
it
long
did
as you
have
have narration.
the unicorn dream scene thing.
Mhm.
It was long, like tears
Yeah.
in rain. I never knew that is where that line came
Yeah.
from. I've heard that reference so many times in
Yeah.
my life and never knew that was
I've
the source.
seen things. Yeah, it's so good.
I need to rewatch it. It's so like those 2 movies are perfect. They're so good, and I'm glad you watched the one without narration because the one with narration is not great. It's not fun.
You loved 2048.
Yeah, I love 2049.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite.
It's 2049.
You can hear in the narration in the original Blade Runner, like, you can hear Harrison Ford tanking it.
Yeah,
Like, you can hear him be like, this idea sucks. I'm going to phone in the narration to try and make it so they can't use it.
Yeah.
But they use it anyway. But he just is sounding like he's reading.
He's pretty legendary at, like, phoning in performances he doesn't want to do.
Yeah,
like,
and he should.
Han Solo, it was like, yeah, this guy wants to be out of this franchise.
when he came back
So
in
bad.
Rise of Skywalker's like, son, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't be bad.
You got to
son.
be a good guy, son.
I think he was.
Give me a hug.
I think he enjoyed Force Awakens. I think he wanted to do that a little bit because it does seem like him doing Force Awakens, him doing Blade Runner, him doing any. He is interested in, like, revisiting these, like, iconic characters. But yeah, definitely Rise of Skywalker. He was like, "You want me back? I died. I thought I was done. I died. I'm out.
Kill my character, please, for the love of God."
It felt like the new Indiana Jones was more of a send off also to Han Solo. Like, he was just trying to, like, I'm kind of just trying to end it.
It really got the same story, the exact same story.
Yeah, my
Their
son
kid
is
died.
dead. My son is
their
dead.
marriage.
That's true.
My marriage is ruined.
Yeah, that is true.
There's so many, like, Han Solo moments within Indiana Jones. Like, there's even the Sarlacc pit, like, trying to aim. And
I thought you were doing a bit, or you were like, and then
Chewbacca
it's
shows
weird.
up.
Indiana
Yeah.
Jones falls in a Sarlacc pit.
Well, it's like the sport. Like Phoebe Waller-Bridges is, like, hanging on to the side of a plane, and a guy has, like, hanging onto her leg. A Nazi's hanging onto her leg, and there's literally just the same shot from him shooting at the Sarlacc pit, like aiming, trying to shoot the Nazi. And there's so many little moments like that of Han Solo, just like, okay, they're trying to throw in those little. It's like a Harrison Ford send off more than anything else.
Yeah, and I've heard him, like, talk about doing Indiana Jones. There's that scene in the new one where he's falling asleep in his chair. He's like drunk. And he's got like bottles of Vicodin laying around, and he's talked about how like, I want to do a scene where I'm like in my underwear and my shirt is off and you see like my old man body because I want people to see that like I'm getting old. Like your hero, Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones, his body is decaying.
We are very aware of that already.
He still takes a punch like a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
He takes a fucking nuts.
Well, I think because it is a 20-year-old getting punched, probably.
I mean, he's doing a lot better than Bruce Willis with the stunts,
And rest in peace, Bruce.
Yeah. Eventually, rest in peace.
Well, he's I want him to actually rest.
Yeah, literally rest. Take a load off, pal.
He's having a tough time right now.
Yeah.
He tried to get as many paychecks as possible before, and he's like, all right, I'm done.
I was talking to someone about the Uncharted movie the other day, and I feel like it was such a waste of a potential. If they had just waited a few years, it would have been perfect. Right now, like Uncharted the game was just supposed to be, what if Indiana Jones was a video game? So you make the Uncharted movie, and it's just, what if Indiana Jones was a movie, which is a waste. But Harrison Ford is going to keep doing Indy until he dies. The second he dies, that's whenever the Uncharted movie should have struck, because at that point, it's either we have to recast Indiana Jones or there needs to be a new action-adventure franchise to fill the hole. But they blew their load too early. They made a bad movie, and now we're just not going to have any whip-based action for a long time once Harrison Ford dies.
And Lord knows we need it.
We do.
That was a nice little moment. Every time he used the whip, I was like, right to my heart.
I didn't like there's this kid in the movie. There's a new like little kid sidekick.
Yeah.
And look,
that kid's gonna die in Afghanistan in the next movie.
I don't want to speak ill of a child.
It's okay. You can do that.
This kid does not have the juice.
Uh-oh.
When you put a kid in your Indiana Jones movie, you're only going to make me think of how great Short Round is and how much I want Indy to be hanging out with his old pal Short Round.
Oh, my God.
Also, why wasn't he in the movie? He just won the Oscar.
They
shot it before. They didn't know that he was, they thought he was, yesterday's news, sweetie. You're out.
They fucked up so
Your
bad.
old news. Yeah.
There's no way he doesn't get a spinoff, because I think they've been...
No, he died in Vietnam as well.
He actually joined the side of the communists, and they killed each other.
It's very poetic.
I want to see the shot of Short Round and Mutt battling on the...
Oh my God, that'd be such a great... I bet you could get Shia LaBeouf to do that, like as like a short film.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
I do think they would do it, like, now that he's hot shit. Disney just did another series with him.
Yeah. American Born Chinese.
Yeah, American Born Chinese, that they're like, oh shit, let's just bring him on to do a spinoff. Because it's not like, because he also became an archaeologist, that character. So
did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
What lore are you referencing?
Yeah. What cite your sources?
Like Young Indy, the TV show.
Young Indy, the TV show, is sick.
Well, he wouldn't have been in Young Indy. Short Round would have been a.
No, there's a part in Young Indiana Jones where he's in World War I and he's carrying a young baby through the trenches.
Oh gosh.
I actually don't know.
You said it.
No, I didn't make it up. I know his character. I know his character is a fucking archaeologist.
I
think it's a comic book. I think it's a comic
video
book.
Game, comic book. Yeah,
I think it's a comic book.
Okay. I mean, obviously, but I hope he is. If they do that, I hope he's not, because like Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character in this is an archaeologist.
Yeah,
and like this is fucking Indiana Jones doesn't have to be an archaeologist. I don't think.
No, it's like the Force. Everyone's a Jedi.
Right.
Everyone's either a Jedi or not, or they're an archaeologist.
Or more specifically, they're all Skywalkers. Everybody has to be from the Skywalker family. Not everybody has to be an archaeologist. Let him be a fucking, used car salesman or something that...
Used cars. Indiana Jones, the used car salesman.
That starts getting to like Evil Dead territory where he's just a badass despite everything.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Well, RTX happened this last week. That was a thing that happened, and it really, really fucked up the episodes for the last couple weeks.
Hey, that's about to happen.
Yeah. I didn't really have time to like walk around on the floor. How was it?
It was fun. It was fun. It was nice to see. Like, we didn't stay too long. We did like 3 hours total.
Okay.
We had our panel.
Yeah, we snuck into a room.
Yeah, I tried.
A panel.
You hosted a panel.
The video you sent me, the audio is
awful.
So bad.
It's so bad. I knew the moment we were recording, I was like, this is going to work.
Completely
Subtitles.
Incomprehensible.
What didn't help is I put it up on a projector that was on, and so it goes.
Yeah. So I had these guys try to shoot some footage at RTX for us to try to put out a little video on the channel. And I walked up to them after they'd been filming for about an hour, and they were filming the entire thing vertical. I don't know why they decided to do that, but everything was vertical. There was no audio and a lot of stuff.
Because I wanted to make it Instagrammable.
Gen Z.
Why would we put this is going on YouTube? Obviously,
I'm thinking about the social media.
Okay,
and the shorts.
Christ Almighty!
I'm
Well,
thinking
just turn it sideways.
I only think in reels.
Okay, no,
I only think in reels.
No, that's not how that works.
But yeah,
No, absolutely not.
a little twist, a little 90 degrees.
Listen, you can't complain to me. All right, you have to give me specific directions if you want.
Well, you gave me specific directions because I did a walk up and you filmed it and you were like, "Oh, that wasn't very good. Let's try to do it again." And you double tapped it.
I double tapped. I double tapped the record button. I double tapped the record button, and we didn't catch it. And I didn't realize it until I got home and I uploaded the footage.
Yeah,
RTX was pretty fun. Never been before.
Yeah.
I didn't meet anybody.
I had a really good time. I was working the entire time though.
Yeah.
So
I tried to get Jakeb to meet Carrie, but Jakeb is a respectful fan, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
But that's what you were there to do. I gave you, I handed you a ticket that says you can meet people, and there was a lines to go do that specifically. And they were waiting for you.
That one wasn't a line. That one he was just walking around doing his thing.
You sent your two socially anxious friends to go meet people.
Jakeb is not socially anxious. There's one person here who is not socially anxious, and it is Jakeb.
I think I could play Pro Tetris.
No,
those guys
those
are.
good.
I know. I watch Pro Tetris.
I love watching.
That's like you saying you could be a chess grandmaster.
No
That's
way.
the same thing.
No,
It is pretty
why?
much
Because
the same
Russians do both of them.
Yes,
Yes.
that's right.
That's correct.
There's one thing they're good at.
Yes.
It's not wars.
It's Tetris.
And chess.
Why do you think you could do that?
Because I've played.
Okay.
I want to say without
You're not
exaggeration.
Confidence is not giving very much.
No,
yeah.
well, I want to say without exaggeration, hundreds of hours of Tetris in my life.
That's not a lot in Tetris. That's not a lot.
I mean,
in Tetris hours, that's you're a baby.
I
scratching the surface.
may be over 1,000. I'm not at that 10,000 mastery level, but I have played so much Tetris
not
since I
the
was
Malcolm
a baby.
Yeah, the Malcolm Gladwell line.
I think
Malcolm Gladwell is so good at Tetris.
I have a bet. I bet I could walk up to 10 random people on the street and have them play you against you in Tetris, and you'd lose more than half the time.
Okay, I will take that bet. If you want to do this for content, I will kick all of their asses.
Okay.
I am so good at Tetris.
I think you are below average.
That's insane. You've never seen me play. You're just assuming that based on who I am, that I'm bad at this game.
That's what I'm doing.
This might be the thing that makes me quit the podcast. This hurts my feelings a lot.
All right, well, you're gonna have a chance to show it off.
I am good at Tetris. This is one of the very few skills I have
You've
actually
never
cultivated.
talked about it before.
I don't doubt
because
that
who brags about that?
I don't doubt that
you
you're
right now.
You're putting me in a position where I have to.
You're currently doing it.
I have to defend myself now. You can't just believe me when I say
You
I'm
said
pretty good
you
at
could
Tetris.
be a great. You could be a world champion. At
What I
Tetris.
said was I could be a professional Tetris player. I didn't say I'd be
Don't
world
now
champion.
now you're
How
moving
many
the
of those
goalpost.
are there? That's not a job.
There are a handful.
There's not.
But if there's a handful, that is even more reason to not think you could do it.
How many do you think
There's
there
like
are?
5 guys in the world that could do this. Yeah, I think I could be one of them.
Number of people who make their entire living off of playing Tetris.
I think it's 0.
It's got to be at least 10.
No.
You don't think that those professional, but they got side jobs.
Yeah.
They got real jobs.
Listen,
I got a
NFL
side job.
referees have side jobs.
That's true. I was looking up.
Do you think these Tetris pros are making enough money to buy a house?
Probably
No.
not. Maybe to pay rent.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I did look into this the other day. Soccer refs here in the MLS, they make like nothing. It's very sad.
Yeah.
I never considered that. Like, some of these guys on the field are doing this for their life, and some of the people who have one of the most important jobs also have to go like wait tables after this.
Plus, you got to run so much. Being a soccer ref would blow.
It's exhausting.
That would be terrible.
It's like at the highest level, you're making like $1,300 a game, something like that. But it's only for the soccer season, and then after that, you have to.
I think those guys it's not just like by league. Like they do other like tournaments and stuff to try and supplement. But even with all that, even if you cobble that together, like it can't be it must be a meager living.
Yeah.
And they're getting replaced by AI as well.
Honestly,
should be.
They should be.
Yeah, this is one where I fully VAR very good. I like checking the cameras to make sure that your calls are correct.
Yeah.
I think if a robot can do it better, then it's better for the game.
The automatic offsides calls at the World Cup were like sometimes frustrating because it would be like, their elbow was offsides or something, and it's like,
like the RFID chips in the ball that tell you if it went a millimeter over the edge.
Yeah.
If a ref wouldn't call it, but the robot is right. The technology is there. I totally believe in it for pure sport.
Yeah.
I don't know why we don't do that for football. It's just 5 old men just kind of eyeballing where the ball goes.
Yeah.
And then they have a chain and with some sticks.
Yeah.
And they kind of just walk it down the field.
Well, it'll never happen in football because the people who watch football are guys who love to stand around a problem and just look at it and go yep.
Yep.
I needs a 3/10 bolt or whatever,
Your
They might have flooded it.
It was low. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's all those types of guys. So they
Check
love
your filter.
seeing the refs just kind of huddling around, going I don't know, what do you think?
What'd you
man?
see?
What'd you see? Yeah,
Well, I don't know. That guy gave me a bad look a couple of plays ago.
yeah.
I'm feeling a little vindictive.
And they love it. They love it. They're messy. They love when refs are
That's
make
half
up
the
calls
entertainment
and
of
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making fun
Baseball,
of
the same way.
Oh,
It's
yeah. Angel Hernandez.
Uh-huh.
What a legend. Do you know who Angel Hernandez is?
No, I'm lost in this
Me too.
conversation.
The worst Major League Baseball umpire of all time.
Oh, what'd he do?
Just historically bad. Just missing calls constantly.
Yeah, and that's what's insane about baseball in particular is the robot knows. There is a specific strike zone. We know what it is.
Yep.
We can tell when it's a ball or a strike easily. And so after the games, you can read reports and stuff for just here are all the missed calls. They got it wrong.
Yeah.
But that's just part of the game. It's just sometimes the ref gets it wrong and you just have to go, whoop, not my day, I guess.
Speaking of unions, that is one of the better unions. They are really
they're locked in.
representing.
The umpire?
What?
Umpire?
Oh, yeah. That's one of the most powerful unions in the
I
world.
feel like that's why
sick.
you don't have robots calling balls and strikes.
Oh, definitely.
Is because of that union.
They saw they heard it in the 90s. They're we got to stop
Yeah,
this.
they got way ahead of it. And you know what? More power to them. But this is one case where we should break that union.
Yeah. We got to bust that apart.
We got to bust that up.
We got to bust all up in that union.
Back in the day, they saw the movie Artificial Intelligence, and immediately one of their first thoughts was, that kid could umpire better than we could.
Weird plastic Jude Law, in an umpire's uniform.
Specifically on the contract, no AI or Haley Joel Osment allowed on this field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sports guys, right?
Sports guys.
Sports.
I saw the FC game last night. Talked about it a little before the podcast. This is my thing now. I go to a soccer game.
This
Bro,
is your
hell
thing
yeah.
now,
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second one I've been to. We've won both of the ones that I went to.
Oh,
2-1.
shit.
So maybe the good luck charm.
Good luck charm. Have you ever? I asked you this before, but but have you ever sat in the supporter section? You've only ever sat in.
Just right next to it.
Yeah.
Right. It's hard to get there, right? Aren't the tickets?
No, it's really easy to get there. Yeah, they're the cheapest tickets in the stadium because it's standing only.
Yeah, that's true. And you get wet. They
Yeah,
throw
they
water and
every
beer
time
all over the
there's
place.
a goal.
Or even something close to a goal, or just a specific part of a song.
Yeah, there's one song in particular where they throw beer and water in there. Yeah, I come out of there drenched, and I'm not just talking about my fucking pussy.
A lot of cute football players.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah, we got some handsome
Wait,
boys on the
you're
team.
calling it football now?
Footy.
Come on,
Beautiful
man.
game.
I'm with it. Why? Yeah, it is. It's the correct term.
Yeah.
It's true.
You're an American.
You know,
Speak American, okay?
the British invented the term soccer.
Okay. And then we took it from them in the war.
They used to call it that, and then we started playing soccer and called it soccer, and then they were like, you know what? We should change. I don't like feeling like those Americans, and they went back to calling it football.
Was that Manchester? That accent? Or was that?
Yeah, what was that?
what was
The Leeds.
Was that a
The
Leeds?
Leeds.
Yeah.
We don't like sounding like them darn Americans.
Boy, howdy!
You fellers want to go down to White Hart Lane and see the Spurs play? I'm a Tottenham man.
Westshire.
God save that queen.
Soccer comes from the term association football.
Wow.
And what ours, American football is gridiron football.
Right.
So it used to be called gridiron here.
You are really just one Wikipedia article.
Gridiron
deep on
is
this,
such
aren't
a
you?
sick name
I'm a few.
for a sport. Gridiron. They should just call it Gridiron.
It's so sick.
It's
tight.
so much
sick.
cooler.
Yeah.
That's badass.
National Gridiron League.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. That's what The Rock needs to do when he starts the new XFL. He's just call it the Gridiron.
The fourth attempt to make the XFL.
They've really tried that
happen.
many times.
I love it. Do you think if Trump and McMahon had made XFL work, Trump would have been president?
Well, Trump would have been happy and content, I think, and would have stayed in his lane.
I don't think but I do think if the NFL would have sold him the Buffalo Bills like he wanted,
oh yeah,
absolutely, we would have avoided all of this.
Yeah.
It's the allow Hitler into painter school artist equivalent.
Yeah.
We have to go back in time. And convince.
We don't need to go back in time and kill baby Hitler. We need to go back in time and just compliment all of his paintings.
It's so good. It's so good.
Imagine the adventures him and Robert Kraft would have got up to. Just the biggest boys. They would have had so much
Couple
fun.
of big boys getting tug jobs together.
Man. They would have been the best friends.
Rip.
Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah, rip to a potential friendship.
Yeah, man. That's a much cooler reality to live in, where Josh Allen is playing for Donald Trump.
Because it's me and you.
I do think that it's interesting that all these alternate football, for as popular football is in America, all these attempts at an alternate football league keep failing.
They really do.
Like the XFL, I think there's one other one that it's just kind of
AFL was another thing, yeah.
They don't really get a lot of traction.
College.
I mean, I guess the reason they fail is because college is the alternate sport.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like attention economy. There's only so much time to watch sports,
Yeah. We never get to talk about football on this podcast, but yeah.
I'm just so happy.
College sports is blowing up currently. I feel like it's going to fall apart pretty quick.
Oh, why?
Well, because
I thought you meant blowing up like it's getting more popular.
No, it's bad.
I was like, but they've been the guys wearing sweaters with letters on them. It's been popular a really long time.
No, just with all the weird conference realignment stuff, and then the college football playoff is actually going to 8 teams, or maybe it's even 12. I can't remember, but that's happening next year. So
and that's
or
bad?
2 years from now. Well, it's just that the college sports has become basically pro sports because there's now no you can pay students to come to your school.
Well, there's so much money in it.
Yeah,
I mean,
and there always has been. It was just under the table before, and now it's out in the open, and car dealerships are giving sponsorships to players, and shit like that. So,
which is great.
It is great.
Get that money.
It is great. Yeah, I don't feel like it's being managed very well.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that this keeps going forward this way. Too soon we'll start paying biology students they're gonna get a sponsorship to come in for the lab.
Yeah
I think we should do relegation. I think relegation makes sports in America a lot better.
Yes, totally.
Promotion relegation in college football,
that'd be so cool.
Specifically, would be pretty sick. Or even America, Gridiron, Handegg.
Yeah,
whatever.
Handegg. I like that.
That's an old internet guy joke. It's like a sports ball thing.
Okay.
Where they would be like, it's called football because you kick a foot with a ball. They should call it Handegg.
This is a good thing to drill down on at the last part of the podcast. Where did the sports ball come from? And who said? Why do people say that? It's very cringy. It's very
worst.
lame. It's very I'm not funny to say sports ball.
There's nothing more annoying as a person that does enjoy watching sports than when I'm just kind of trying to. I feel like people don't do that with any other hobby really. I've never talking.
I guess weeb is maybe if you call someone a weeb.
True.
Yeah, that's maybe the anime version of it.
Calling anything, and that's loud. There's differences in music genres, but calling anything screamo whenever it's it could be post-hardcore or there's
True.
anything like that.
I guess they do it, but people, it's a different thing where people are proudly I don't like this thing, and I guess because it's so popular, that's why people do it. But,
it's the the nerd equivalent of trying to demean these people who are, which I get. I participated in that the usage of it because I was never a sports person, but as I've grown older, I was that's just stupid. That's just just grow up.
Sense. Yeah.
Anyone who's over 25 and still referencing like sports ball. I'm gonna go fucking play video games in my home alone. Or something like that.
did the Yankees score a touchdown?
Oh, fuck off! Like that's
did the guy swing his bat and everybody got happy when he hit it? Is that what happened? Good for him, I guess. But they're still like the Middle East. So
That's
like,
we have a second to talk about like the social and economic point of the world.
Yeah.
no.
It's very Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
I have all of my own interests. Like I talk about Destiny all the time.
Yeah,
on
and
this
we make
podcast.
fun of you relentlessly.
Yeah, you make fun of me.
And we call it Nintendo.
Yeah.
Does your uncle work there, nerd, dork?
They just fucking rail me all the time on it.
I do a similar thing to this, but not as like ironically or meanly. Whenever I'm cheering at a sports game, I kind of just describe the game. I'm like, yeah, kick the ball. Yeah, put it in the net.
That is a cousin of the sports ball thing for sure.
But I don't know how to cheer, so I'm just trying to be supportive.
We got like songs that are just sing along.
The songs in American soccer suck.
No, not the Austin songs. The Austin songs are really good. Don't come.
It is
don't,
nothing.
no,
You're not in the supporter
sir.
zone. Don't fucking talk about
I'm
it.
next to it. I hear it the whole game.
Here's the thing. The fucking all English like soccer chants are all just like the word. You know, it's like the fucking. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Roy Kent thing or whatever. They're all chants.
Yeah.
Fucking, we have songs, which our club song culture is informed out of the South American tradition, where there's actual songs. People are playing instruments in the stands.
Yeah, the drum line rocks.
We got horns. We got the whole fucking thing.
They don't have saxophone, unfortunately.
They do not have saxophone.
They won't let me join.
I did ask them, yes, if I could bring one, and they said no, thank you.
You play sax too?
No, I don't.
Okay,
No,
I did. I asked them. I was like, hey, my roommate plays snare. I play sax. Can we join? And they were like, well, we do take drums. We don't have sax, but you could learn trumpet. And I was like, no, that's not how that works.
I have been tempted. They've posted like we're doing open signups for call ads. Like I'm gonna go be on the fucking drum line.
Yeah,
that'd be sick. That'd be so fun. They have a lot of fun, but they also have to pay their own way into the stadium, which I think is wild.
Yeah.
Like there's such a huge part of the the atmosphere. But the club makes them buy like their own. I think they probably get like face value.
There's a discount, but
that's I will go to bat for this. I love the songs.
I feel like it reminds me more of high school football. Where like there's like 4 songs that I hear on loop the whole time. What I prefer, I love how creative the chants get. Like there are a few of them, but they're constantly coming up with new ones across the seas.
I feel like I always hear the same ones. I feel like people always do the same chant, but like just change the specifics for their team.
Very much so, yeah.
Like
it's very simple and it's built for drunk people to yell.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's true here. Dolly, Dolly, Dolly. Yeah,
well, there's that, but there's
ATX.
more. We have like a combination. There's like 10 songs or something, and like half of them are that. One of them is just like ATX. And then
I like that one.
But there are some that are like more complicated to the point where I'm like, I've been in the supporters section so many times, and I still am like trying to figure out the lyrics.
Got to bring a songbook.
They literally do have. They literally hand out.
Really?
Well, now
it's like church.
They do it with a QR code now. But like the first season, they literally had hymnals. Like they had pamphlets that they handed to people that had all the lyrics on it.
That's awesome.
And I was like, this is great. I'm in the right place. This is sick. This is so fun.
Yeah, I love the drum line. It caught me off guard how much it especially in our stadium, it echoes so well. It really feels powerful the whole time. And they never stop playing. They're going like the whole game. When they take a brief 3 minutes without playing, you really feel the absence.
There was one game last season. One of our players is serious topic, but one of our players was accused of a domestic assault thing, and there was amongst all the supporters groups, they organized this thing where the band was going to stop playing for 1 minute at the beginning of the 10-minute mark or something. They're like, the band's just going to stop, moment of silence from the supporters section to say we want this guy off the club. We don't want him playing for us anymore. And they did that, but it somehow communication was it? They stopped for 10 minutes.
Whoa.
The band did not play for 10 minutes, and most of the supporters didn't chant or sing, so like that whole section was dead quiet. And it was wild because anybody can buy tickets to that section. So there were like some people who had got the word on that, but like a handful of people who did not get the word on that. And there was like 3, 4, 5 like drunk bros there that were just like, what the fuck is going? So it's like dead quiet, and they're like, let's fucking go! Come on, you fucking assholes! Start singing! And everybody is like, guy, like we're doing a thing.
Read
here.
the room, man.
Yeah. After 30 seconds of this, you don't think this is like intentional, But yeah,
I was just got really tired.
yeah.
We just weren't feeling it that day.
Yeah. But it was weird, like 10 minutes of them not playing and everybody just kind of standing there, and it was.
Did it work?
It did work. That
great.
guy, I think they just waived him, but yeah. And he was like one of the designated players. Like he was like on like he was like one of the first big money guys that they signed, but also didn't hurt that like he stunk,
Yeah.
But they did get rid of him. And they kind of took a financial hit on it.
Well, look at
Did the
that.
right thing. Yeah.
That's good. Well, that's been Mouse Out of Wedlock.
Good ending.
Yeah.
That was great.
Little uplifting story at the end there. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been it's been an honor.
It's beyond
Do you have anything to plug?
Listen to the Meatcast, the
link
Heathcliff podcast.
Great
You can
podcast.
find that anywhere. It's in the links.
It's on my rotation for like my podcasts, like automatically,
What an
and so
honor.
like sometimes I'll fall asleep to a podcast and I'll wake up to your voice.
Oh, wow.
So like it'll be 3 a.m. and I'll just hear you like punching up a Heathcliff podcast.
That's
I'm like,
very erotic and powerful. I'm glad to hear
what
that.
is going on? Kyle, get out of my room.
No, I want to talk to you about Jimmy.
Oh.
Another character in Heathcliff. It's very
I want
honoring.
that. I want that commemorative thing they did.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Could you also plug our podcast for us?
Oh yeah,
Right now?
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, yeah. Listen to Mouse Out of Wedlock. It comes out Thursdays.
We actually own that now. We own,
Okay.
we own
Yeah.
your
Oh,
voice
no,
in
in perpetuity, no!
I tried to get you a
Well,
coffee.
that's why I
payment.
tanked it.
Yeah. It's gonna be on every advertisement we put out from now on.
It's me going, I guess. Listen, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, we're gonna go back to the part earlier in the show where you were like, when I first heard the name, I thought it was a non sequitur. But
Now I get it.
Leaving the audio of me walking into the room going, what the fuck is this? What are we doing?
What kind of? It's like Come Town.
Is it funny? Am I supposed to be? Am I trying? What? Am I sincere? I don't know.
Is your play still going on?
Yeah. We're doing a play at Fallout Theater in Austin. Saturdays at 7 p.m. It's called Dead. And yeah, come check that out.
I enjoyed it
Cool.
quite a bit. When I watched it, I had a lot of fun with it.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah. Yeah, and then just various, doing various shows around town. Sundays at Cold Town Sunday
That's right.
Herald,
All night.
6 p.m. So that's a weekly thing.
Nice.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
Cool. Well, check it out. Welcome back, Xander, to the show.
I'm back.
You want to do your plugs? Are you back? Are you going to be back next week?
I think so. I don't see why not.
All right. Cool.
Well, actually, let me check my calendar.
Great. Your
yeah.
Destiny season might come out or something.
No, I mean
No,
the
not yet.
season of the deep.
Xander and I both.
Yeah, we're taking a break.
I gave it up for a while. There's too much stuff. But
Is
Yeah,
Lent
I
happening
gave
right
up.
now? Is that right?
No.
Okay.
no, not at all.
No, it's just like
not even close.
What are you talking about?
no, there's too many other video games like Tears of the Kingdom came out,
it's good.
Diablo 4, which I'm abstaining from for right now because I know I get
Because of
sucked in.
Lent, right?
Because of Lent.
That's right.
Because of Lent, not Lent. Lent.
Lent.
Specifically, and also the season of the deep was just kind of
Stunk.
This was not an invitation to talk about that.
You
No,
fucking
it
asked
sounded
me.
like
you
one.
kind of fucking asked me.
Yeah, I mean, it more. I haven't felt it's like a chore, logging and doing my little online chores.
Oh, I'm gonna go
week,
fucking fish on this random
the
destination.
Fishing is a nightmare.
Wait, there's fishing in Destiny?
They added a fishing.
Stop asking.
They added a fishing.
You are
minigame,
inviting
Why
this.
would they
and
do
it
that?
sucks. It sucks.
Because it's season of the
Because it's a new season and they need
I'm gonna
some
have
kind of
to-
new something.
I want to go play the fishing minigame.
It's
All right, well,
trash.
let's record. We'll record some content of
Just the fishing.
just the fishing content.
That's all I want.
I love that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
The biggest disappointment of my life is Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom's lack of fishing mechanics.
You know,
Yeah,
fair,
that's
very
really fair.
It's literally just like you run up to water and like hit it.
Yeah, you can just grab a fish.
Yeah, it needs fishing.
You shoot it with an arrow, and then the current carries both your arrow and the fish away. All right,
good. That's
money
good.
well spent.
Jake, do your plugs.
I have none because I have officially deleted all social media.
Really?
Yep, I'm gone.
Whoa.
Coward.
I was after the whole Reddit protest and everything, and it didn't work, and all third-party app support got taken away.
Yeah.
I just deleted it. Decided, well, this is a good reason as any to get off of Reddit, and that was the hardest social media for me to quit. So now all the other ones are also gone off my phone. So now in my spare time, when I normally would get on social media, I open up a little drum beat maker and I just make some drums.
That sounds healthy.
Except Threads. You're really excited about
Right.
Threads.
Oh, I love
right?
Threads.
I'm going to participate in this bit. I still don't know what that is.
You love engaging.
But I love
with,
Threads.
You love engaging with brands, though.
Oh,
And
yeah.
So it's the
I love
perfect
talking to
platform
brands.
for you. Yeah.
I love
and
talking
I
about
love
it.
when they talk to me.
Oh, I
Do they
love
talk to
when
me?
they thread like people.
Yeah,
you know, that's my favorite thing.
Wendy's
when-
is so funny.
Yeah, Wendy's
Oh,
is so
I
funny.
love
You know,
Wendy's. It's so funny.
Liquid
Yeah.
Death has reposted my reels twice now.
Wow, it's like a real friend you have.
I actually now have I'm legitimately friends with.
I love when IHOP is like, come eat this pancake-ussy. And you're like, okay.
I would actually love that. That makes me what I have. That's really funny.
What are you doing, guys?
And Waffle House replies, "I will fucking kill you."
Yeah. Waffle House replies with just the gun emoji.
They still have.
That reminds me of my favorite actual brand tweet of all time, which is the Houston Rockets when they played the Dallas Mavericks in the playoffs several years ago because the Rockets were in the playoffs, and they beat them. I think they eliminated them, and then their tweet that night when they eliminated was the horse emoji with the gun emoji.
That's pretty awesome.
It was pretty sick.
That's pretty cool. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, you can follow me, Fisher45Joyce on any social media, Fisher Joyce on YouTube, or you can follow the show Mouse Out Wet on Twitter for as long as Twitter exists. Maybe we should go to Threads.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll move over to Threads.
I'll be the Threads for Mouse Out of Wedlock.
Will you?
I'll run that.
Okay, great.
I actually do have a plug. Go to the MLS YouTube channel and watch the Austin versus Kansas City highlights that come out recently, and then you can see me in the top right corner.
Oh, that's fun.
I'm sitting there. I got a big beard. I got a green shirt on. Look for the guy in the green shirt. I'm sure that'll help.
Yeah, look for the guy in the
guy
green shirt.
in the green
Austin
shirt.
That's
crowd.
I have a plug. I forgot.
You have a plug as well?
Yeah. coffeebean_dog. If you want to follow my dog for dog content. And then I also have a show Saturday nights at Fallout for the foreseeable future. So
Well, look at that.
What's it called?
it's currently unnamed, so it's just Secret Stash. but-
Unnamed Xander Nolan Project.
Yeah, unnamed Xander. It's purely me, only me,
Oh, cool.
one man show.
Wow.
I just sit on stage facing the audience at 8:30, and it sells out every single time.
Yeah, it's
you
the
still
show
don't
right
have a name
after
for
mine,
it.
and I'm always like, "Why people are just? I can't believe people are lining up to see this."
I think people think it's like a nude art class.
Yeah. And yet I'm
Sometimes it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
depending
it's
on
hard.
how it is.
Week to week, we don't know,
Yeah.
but people bring their sketchbooks just in case.
Just in case. Well, check that out, I guess. And that'll be the show.
And we say bye-bye.